Senate Bill 1 is going to the House of Delegates in Maryland. And the White House is applauding. Oh, they're applauding transgenderism once again. And can Michael Knowles sue the White House? I'm Anthony Rader, and this is Politically Unhinged. Now, you guys heard that right. Senate Bill 1, the bill that I spoke against in Maryland, is going to the House. And this bill basically makes it illegal to conceal carry in the state of Maryland, even though Maryland is a shall-issue state. And they're going ahead and saying, oh, yes, 100 feet you can't be carrying. Well, are you kidding me? You think like a state with Maryland where the crime is getting out of control, you would want less gun control. But nope, Democrats are going to Democrat, and they are going to continue to talk about how we need more restrictions on your fundamental rights. Now, once again, like I said in the speech, this bill is unconstitutional because of Article 6. Paragraph 2 of the Constitution, also known as the Supremacy Clause. You know what? Let's go ahead and roll that clip real quick.
Thank you, Senators, for this opportunity. My name is Anthony Rader. I am a member of Howard County Young Republicans. Now, I moved to this state back in 2013, and I can tell you that it is a great state, but however, this law is unconstitutional. This bill, if we just look at Article 6, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution, also known as the Supremacy Clause, it establishes that the federal Constitution and its laws override the state, especially when a state does not have a Second Amendment clause. But also, I'd like to point out that one of our founding fathers, James Madison, he was in his teens when he signed the Declaration of Independence. He knew what he was doing. He was putting his life on the line. And he ended up being our president in 1812. He wrote the Second Amendment. To this day, his words are echoed by Second Amendment advocates and people that are not. And I come to you and I want to say this quote by James Madison. Americans have the right and the advantage of being armed, unlike citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. If this bill passes, it makes us American citizens think that you are afraid to trust us. And I don't think you guys want us to think that. Thank you for your time.
Yes, as I said right there, Article 6, Paragraph 2, the Supremacy Clause in the United States Constitution makes this bill illegal. Matter of fact, it makes every single bill that regulates the Second Amendment in the states illegal. So your bans in Illinois, in California, New York, those bills are illegal. Those laws are illegal. But, Democrats want to keep on spending your taxpayer money, and why should we care about that? I mean, the banks, they're doing really well right now, aren't they? Oh, no, a few of them just closed down. Oh, yeah, I mean, well, we can always send more money over to Ukraine because of that. Like I said, the Democrats like to spend your hard-earned dollars. Now, to anyone that does not know, the Article 6, Paragraph 2, which is commonly referred to as the Supremacy Clause, what it does, as said in the video, it establishes the federal Constitution proceeds over state laws. And it's actually read like this aloud. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all the treaties made, or which shall be made, under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. But, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a high school graduate that is now studying political science. What do I know? I mean, it's not like it says stuff in black and white in plain English, but, your politicians don't care about that. Your politicians want to make sure that your rights are not going to be there. They are looking at China as a roadmap. And they're not keeping it secret. Keep in mind, these people were going like, oh yeah, China's doing the right thing during COVID, where they would literally weld people into their houses. Does that seem like a red flag to you? There are still places that have not opened up still in America, too. I mean, there are college campuses that have not fully opened because of that. But Democrats are going to Democrat. What else can I say? Now, we're going to keep on going on the gun-related topics. So, not only does Maryland have this bill in place, but according to the last decision made by the Supreme Court, the New York law that was struck down, that was struck down a few months ago, made sure that you can't be doing this. It's like New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin made sure that you had the fundamental right to protect yourself. And it overruled the states that have the shall issue stance. But here we are. We're still looking at this stuff, and we're still making bullcrap laws. We wouldn't need these lobbies like that, like the NRA, Young Americans for Liberty, if our politicians actually did what they are supposed to do. But what you see going around here is that they don't care. They don't care about you. They could care less about you. They don't want you to be here at all. They just look at you as a number. Your social security number. Whether it's 11111 or 1111112. That's all that they look at you as. They're not going and saying like, yes, your rights need to be protected. Your God-given rights are here to stay. They're not doing that. They are surrendering everything to the masses on this. And what do the Republicans do? Republicans just let them do this stuff. Even in the state of Maryland, where I think it's 6 bullets for a magazine or something ridiculously insane, that's also against this. But we're not going to be told that. That ain't happening. They do not know the term shall not be infringed. It's that simple. If these people actually read the Constitution with an open mind, they would see that their biases aren't allowed with these interpretations of the law. Our founding fathers made sure that you didn't need a Harvard degree to figure out what the document says. They literally put everything you needed to know in a paragraph for each amendment. And these people can't be bothered to read it? I mean, what else do we expect from people that let hundreds of paged bills go ahead? They just vote for them. Go on. Let's not even read it. They're saying that's okay. I don't think so. That's why, as Americans, we need to stand up for our God-given rights. All right. Now I want to take this time and tell y'all that I got merch. Go to tinyurl.com/PU merch. That is tinyurl.com/PU merch. As you can see right here, we have everything you want. We got our politically unhinged mug. We got t-shirts. I mean, what else could you want? I can tell you what else you want. You want 15% off. You want 15% off for this merch. Well, you're going to get it by using the code BidenSucks. That is BidenSucks. But you got to act fast. This is only available for another week. It's only available up until March 25th. So what are you waiting for? Use the code BidenSucks to get 15% off. And I got to tell you, I got a shirt myself. Here it is, the politically unhinged shirt. I mean, look at that. That is an amazing shirt. All right. Now back to business. So, during CPAC, Michael Knowles of Daily Wire gave a speech. He gave a speech and he said that we need to eradicate transgenderism. I actually talked about this on the other podcast I was on last week, Liberty Arise Media, and it was the headmaster's room, where she had me on for about 30 minutes. It was a great experience. Let's actually roll a clip from that little interaction that we had there.
You know, I don't know if your age, I think they mind it, but I don't know if it's as big of an issue, of course, as economy. But I think the transgender movement, and I've seen it with youth, I just go by, get something from my phone and happen to talk a little about that or whatever. Or somebody comes in and the young man, at least that served us, he was like, I'm so tired of that being shoved down our throats. Just you do you. And, that's kind of the reaction I see. What is some of the reaction you're getting on that movement?
Yes, so I'm getting that reaction, but at the same time, I have people that are like me and the speaker that was at CPAC, Michael Knowles, where we're saying that we have to eradicate the transgenderism in general. Well, I do not believe that just because you feel one way just doesn't mean that you're that. It's like these people that are transing their kids. I'm all like, kids have this thing called an imagination. And so, like, if your kid comes up to you one day and says, I'm a T-Rex, are you going to donate them to a museum? Yes, I did use that phrase. I did say that. Because what they are saying is just even more out there. It's even more moronic than what I was saying. I mean, after all, if your kid just comes up to you and says that, I mean, come on. Well, as I said, Michael Knowles went ahead and He already said that we need to eradicate transgenderism. And what did the leftist news media say? Michael Knowles wants a mass genocide of transgender people. Well, that is not what he said. We literally have video of his speech. And so, Michael Knowles ended up, and he's saying, if you do not fix this, I am suing. Now, this brings a real question. Is the White House up for a lawsuit? Could they be sued? Because you see, last week, Kareem Jean-Pierre, or, the worst press secretary to ever press secretary, went out there and she went ahead and she talked about how a CPAC speaker talked about the transgender issue. And here's the thing, she didn't say his name. But under evidence of doubt, and knowing that the leftist media actually named Michael Knowles, come on. Let's go ahead and watch that clip.
I just want to take a step back a moment and really call out the shameful, hateful, and dangerous attacks that we have been seeing on the LGBTQI community, as we've seen this week, as I said, and also last week. Look, it started with a speaker at a conservative conference calling for the eradication of transgender people, language that not a single national Republican leader has condemned.
So, can Michael Knowles actually sue for this? Well, potentially. He could. Because he said eradication of transgenderism. The ism. The belief that a man can become a woman. The belief that a woman can become a man. Ism. Not want to eradicate transgender people. And here's the thing, even though that they did not say his name, it was all over the press for about a week. And so I think he could if he wanted to. After all, Daily Wire has sued quite a bit. They sued the federal government against the stupid mandates for the COVID vaccinations. And they won. Now, that is not the only thing. Yes, I do think Michael Knowles can sue, and I think he should. This is actually what we can definitely call defamation of character. And we could say that there was a proven loss. Because you want to have a speech, I think it was this week or last week, and there was quite a bit of protesters that said that he's hateful and all of the buzzwords that the left likes to use. So, yes, I think he could. But I don't necessarily know 100% if he can actually sue or not. So, let's talk about Joe Biden. Hayden Biden. Joe Biden. So, Joe Biden said on The Daily Show, what's going on in Florida is, as my mother would say, close to sinful. He was talking about the legislation that is in place in Florida that kids couldn't have gender mutilation surgery. Apparently that is sinful. That is very, very sinful. That they cannot mutilate children. Do you think that's sinful? I don't. I think it's sinful when you mutilate a child. But, Joe Biden coming out here and he's tripping over his words like he does steps. And, the people that say he isn't racist, but he is, because he said this. Yep. That is good old Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Hayden Biden. Joe Biden. Who's just awful. That's who it is. Now, when you have the White House saying that it is all right for you to go ahead and chop off perfectly fine body parts of children, that's how you know that we have fallen. That our very own federal government says that it's okay. This is evil. It is satanic that they say it's okay to chop off healthy body parts of children. Here's the thing. I think it's sinful for even an adult to chop off their healthy body parts, because they just need help. And here's a fun fact. 80% of children that have gender dysphoria age out of it. I wonder why. Yeah, it's like this is all BS. Doesn't really matter. It's not like we're here to just go ahead and go like, we need to let little Timmy to decide his gender. And I hate the phrase when people go like, assigned at birth. What were you assigned at birth? It's stupid, it's moronic, and it's idiotic. You're not assigned at birth. You either have two X chromosomes that make you a woman, and you have a Y chromosome that automatically makes you a male. So we have people that are just going around there parading, going all like, yes, good for you. Those people also need help. We need to stop with this trend where we just go ahead and celebrate these people. We can't be reaffirming people's way of thinking when they're actually doing harm to themselves. After all, when someone that's very skinny, possibly anorexic, says that they're too fat, do you tell them that they are? Or do you tell them that they are too skinny? I mean, these are the same people that would go up to Jimmy Kimmel and tell him that he's funny. I'm talking about modern Jimmy Kimmel. The late night hosts have fallen. All right. So, I know what you're thinking. Our historical quote of the day. What should it be? Well, I think it's not inappropriate to end off with this. James Madison once said, Americans have the right and advantage of being armed, unlike the citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. Americans have the right and advantage of being armed, unlike the citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. Now, thank you, and God bless.